you guys know how to mute? Like, is that a thing? Do you have a mute button on your remote?
There's no. It doesn't do that.
I don't even know what that is. Like, what does the word mute mean? Like, it just didn't compute with me.
Welcome to the Better Than Ever podcast. Join me, Joseph Bailey, as we compare our current lives to the bad old days of the past, and we talk about what's better than ever. What if comparison isn't the thief of joy? What if it's the key?
My favorite brother-in-law, Chad.
Wow.
I know. Hey, don't tell John. I have two other brothers-in-law, but they're probably not going to listen. So It's just don't tell John and Brad.
Okay.
So, okay.
Definitely. Let's not let this get out.
Yeah, don't let it get out. This is a secret. So it's a secret podcast. That's how podcasts work. They're secrets. So this is Chad's second podcast to be on today.
Wow.
Today, I know he's the biggest guest I've ever had.
This is an incredible opportunity for me.
Outside of Molly Lee, like totally the biggest guest I've had. Okay, so Chad, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
It's totally
Such
not
an
my
honor
back
to be
room.
here.
I know. It's really great.
I love what you've done with the place.
Thank you. It's really good. It helps my creativity. So yes, this is the best place to record podcasts.
Yeah, you look very creative.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so let's talk about, first of all, who are you? How did you get here? How did this all happen? Tell us your story. Where'd you grow up? All the things. What do you want to tell us?
Wow, that's such a broad question.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's so much behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, you already introduced me, so you know my name.
Yeah.
Right. I am your brother-in-law. You're my favorite brother-in-law as well.
Yes,
so
that's
there's
right.
that.
I'm
okay if that gets out though.
Okay.
It's
All
fine.
right.
It's gonna be
Good.
fine.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess how did I get here? Well, first, my parents really loved each other, and when two people really love each other, they make a baby.
Okay, great.
No, too far.
Oh man,
What kind of podcast
this
is this?
Not that kind of podcast.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Okay.
Rein it in.
Okay,
I got it. Well, yeah, grew up in a two-parent family, and I've got an older brother. He's 5 years older than me. So, yeah, grew up and got beat up a lot. That happens.
By him and other people, or
Well,
just
other
him?
people too. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Sometimes for his entertainment. Yeah, he would drop me off and say, "Hey, fight these people."
Oh gosh,
Just for his entertainment.
You grew up in DFW.
I
right?
did. Yeah. I like to say the Fort Worth area.
The Fort Worth area.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You dropped a D.
Well, I dropped the D. It seems pretentious, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Or too fancy. Too fancy for me.
Fort
Maybe
Worth
that's what
area.
it is.
I like the Fort Worth area way more than I like the Dallas area.
Yeah. Well, I'm
nice.
more familiar with it. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I used to say HEB, but then when I came
People
to Abilene, people
don't know that.
they thought of the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I'm not from like the freezer section or something like that. So.
It's really sad. Chad's homeless. He grew up in the HEB area.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got two parents. You got a brother.
Yeah, got a brother.
Okay.
I still have a brother, but I
Okay.
only have one official parent.
Right.
My mom passed away 16 years ago now.
Yeah.
Golly.
That's
But
wild.
yeah. So into adulthood, but she was way too young.
Yeah.
And came out to Abilene for college for Hardin Simmons. Actually came out here originally to play soccer.
Yes.
So that's super fun, but I didn't make it very long. I was not good enough, not in shape enough, but it was fun because I loved it and it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work as well. I felt like I was missing out on all the fun stuff, all the college fun.
Yeah. I don't even know the rules of soccer.
Well,
so
that's okay.
So how does that make you feel?
This is not the time.
Okay.
But I'll
All right.
explain it to you sometime.
Okay. All
How
right.
about that?
We'll watch sometime. Okay. World Cup.
We probably won't.
Okay.
But that's
yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we've had a lot of opportunities, but
I know we never have.
yeah.
Yep.
But I met my wife, who is now my wife. She wasn't then, obviously, when I met her.
You weren't betrothed from birth.
No.
Right.
Although I could have been, I suppose, but I just wasn't aware. But so yes, your sister.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate all that you've done to raise her.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I met her in college. We actually got married in college, which was very young, but I wouldn't change it at all. It was fantastic.
That's unique. That was pretty unique back then, but that's definitely unique now. Like nobody does that now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to say we grew up together. So it was really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was challenging for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we had no
Because
money.
you married her. That's challenging.
I did not say that for the record. I'd like for anyone and all thousands and millions of followers that you have to hear that I did not say that. I chose her. I chose her.
Yeah,
and it was great. But her dad never really said, yes, you have my permission whenever I asked him
I've heard this
for
story.
her hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
You asked, and he
had a lot of questions.
But he never said yes.
And we just ended with questions, and I felt okay about it. But
He still never said yes.
years later, yeah.
Did he say yes?
No. This is the best part.
Okay.
Years later, I asked him. I was like, "Hey, Danny, you never really gave me permission. I never received your blessing to marry your daughter."
Yeah.
And he just laughed in that
just laughed.
true Danny form.
Just laugh and walk away.
And I still never got it. So
All right.
I don't know. Maybe after, let's see, we've been married 22 years now.
Yeah.
So maybe now, I don't know. Maybe we're getting close.
Maybe. All right.
So yeah, I don't know. That's how I got to Abilene and
Got here.
here. Yeah. Well, not today specifically, but
Right.
yeah, here in general.
Okay.
But yeah, I started working in Abilene right out of college,
Yeah.
and through an internship opportunity, turned into a full-time job, and
And then a long time job.
well, yes,
Yes.
eventually,
Yeah.
we moved away for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But like Abilene does, it kind of sucks you back
You moved away to the HEB area.
to the Fort Worth area.
Okay.
It really was actually Fort Worth area. So,
Okay, it wasn't
yeah.
HEB.
It was not
Okay.
HEB.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm not even sure what that means, but I've heard people say it. But
North Fort Worth,
okay.
or north of Fort Worth.
What is the H and the
Watauga?
E and the B?
Yeah, Hurst, Euless, Bedford.
It's easier saying HEB for sure.
It is. Yeah. I think that's why people say it.
Okay.
It's kind of a thing.
All right.
So yeah, but after we were there for a couple of years, we had the opportunity to come back to Abilene, and I say opportunity because that's how I want to frame this. So it was an opportunity, and it really was. It was great. So we moved back, and we've been back the last I guess 17 years or so now. Yeah, it's been really good. It's great.
17 years. Yeah.
It's a great place, great city to raise a family for sure.
Yeah.
So it's good and boring for boring people like me.
We were talking last night to some couples, and they said, yeah, it's the boomerang, right? It just
is.
draws you back
Yeah.
in. We tried to, you guys tried to leave, we tried to leave, and it just pulled us back in.
It happens. I don't know how or why, but it does. So.
It really does. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm a financial advisor. That's what I do professionally.
Yes.
Focus on investment side of things.
Okay.
So all of the real nerdy stuff that that you can think of. That's right in my ballpark. So
Sometimes when people ask what you do, I'm like, have you ever seen Friends? Have you ever seen Chandler on Friends? Like Chad's in not now, but for the longest time you were in a suit.
Yep.
Like he's going somewhere and he's doing something with suits, and we're not quite sure what he's doing. He's
nobody
doing
knows.
something. Nobody really knows.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
absolutely.
right. So-
Carrie has said that as well.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
100% accurate.
Yes.
And I kind of think that most people don't really care.
Yeah.
So I don't go into too much more detail than that. I mean, I'll talk about it with you, but nobody really cares.
There
And
was
that's
one
okay.
of the
I'm not offended.
Yeah, there was one of the Mission Impossible movies where he was like a spy. Tom Cruise was a spy, and he didn't want to talk about what he did. He can't talk about what he did for real, and so he would talk about like he was a traffic analyst or something like that. And it like if it sounds super boring, then maybe it's actually not boring.
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa,
Wow.
he's actually doing something really crazy.
It's a good point.
So,
yeah.
yep.
No, mine is, it's not boring, but it's
Yeah.
super nerdy. So,
Okay.
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. I like that. And you're super into Excel.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you not be?
I like Excel.
Yeah.
Except for
Thank
I
you.
use mine for outlining, so that's probably not the right way to use it. So.
Okay. We're going to have to talk.
No, it's really
offline,
strange.
I feel like
I know.
maybe a tutorial's in order.
Yes,
I don't
that's
know,
right.
Something.
And I tell people, my brother-in-law came up with I don't know what you call it, algorithm, formula, whatever, to solve Sudoku.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's a great story.
Yeah, I know. I like it. I know.
Yeah. So a little bit more of the background of that. My dad and I, when I was in the Fort Worth area, I worked for him.
Yes.
And every day we got to where we were doing this Sudoku puzzle, and it was a lot of fun. We'd kind of race each other and all this, and so I decided I was going to try to outsmart him. And instead of
I don't know this part of the story. I like this.
Yeah. Well, you threw a great softball, so
Yeah.
of course
That's
I'm going to
good.
try
I
to
like
knock
it.
it out
Okay.
of the park.
Yeah.
So we were trying to race to see who could be finished first, and I tried to outsmart him, and so I decided I'm just going to make a little solver. So I made one in Excel. You just plug in the variables, whatever your puzzle looks like.
Yeah.
Hit a button, and it solves it for you.
Yeah.
So when I started solving them in like a few seconds, he kind of started to get turned on to the idea of like, okay, wait a minute, something's going on here, because it would take us a minute, maybe 90 seconds, something like that to solve.
You would solve a whole deal in 90 seconds?
Oh, yeah. Oh, especially the easy ones, for sure. But so I made this solver, and this sounds really nerdy. I feel like we're going.
I like where we're going. I like this. Yeah.
All right. I mean, you're in charge, boss. So made this solver, and he kind of, like I said, kind of figured it out. And so I showed him, and it was really a terrible idea, hindsight, because it kind of robbed us of this thing that we were sharing.
Shut the whole game down.
Yeah, it shut it down.
Yeah.
So it was not any fun anymore.
I've never tried one.
Wow.
I've never even done one because I know how it's going to go. I'm going to get frustrated, and I'm going to be like, I'm just going to, I don't know, throw it or something. And but I could also see myself going where I get so, like, I dive into it.
Yeah.
Where I need to know how to do this.
Yeah.
And I do that sometimes with
Sure.
things. Yeah.
You should.
So
it's not complicated.
It's
really not.
Yeah, but
if you can count to 9, I think you can do it.
I'm about 20 years late on that.
Well, that's probably
and then
true.
I would start talking about it, and people are like, "What? We did that 20 years ago.
So
what
20
are you
years ago.
doing right
Yeah.
now?" Yeah, that's right. That's right. What's Words with Friends? You want to play Words with Friends?
Yeah.
And we're like, "Yeah, hey, bro, we did that like 12 years ago. We're all
Is
way
that
past
still a
that."
game? Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you still download that?
But I did
Probably
download
can.
the cheat where you take a screenshot of it and it solves it all
Yes.
for you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So back in the day when we were playing this and it was
Yeah.
popular, I had a certain person who may or may not be listening to your podcast, so
Okay.
I won't name names. And we were playing, and
Yes.
he was just destroying me. And I was like, "What's going on?" And I found out it was that
It was that.
he was cheating. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So same thing as with Sudoku with my dad.
I
Like
know.
he ruined it. You know.
But you wrote the program, so that's pretty cool. That you
Yeah.
actually.
Well, I guess. Yeah. Sure. That's
it.
cool. Depends on how nerdy you are,
Yeah.
whether you can appreciate it or
Yeah.
not. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that's how you got here. That's what you do. How many are you allowed to say? How many dollars you oversee? Is that weird to say? Because you
Sure.
did oversee like this many dollars, and now you oversee this many dollars.
Yes, those are true statements. Yes, I am allowed. I guess I'll answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah. So my previous job, I was overseeing about $3.5 billion
Okay.
in total dollars, managed for a specific type of company,
Okay.
insurance companies.
Yeah.
And so this new role that I've been in for 6 months or so
Mm-hmm.
it's still investments, but it's a shift of gears in the type of clientele.
Oh.
So I manage for a lot more like quantity of clients,
Right.
but the dollars we're dealing with are a lot smaller. So
Right.
it's just under 200 million.
Just
yeah.
Just $200
slightly
million
under. I don't know.
dollars. Whatever.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You know.
It's all zeros. you know?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So
Dave
yeah.
Ramsey would love this. Yeah. He's got all the zeros. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's where, like, how you got here. That's what you do professionally. And then, so let's talk about, I always want to talk about people's media. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, what are the shows you grew up watching?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about, like, what you watch now and, like, your relationship with your phone and all that stuff. So what'd you grow up, when I say, like, show, what does that mean to you growing up?
I will watch anything.
Anything.
Yeah. I don't care. It could be Hallmark. It could be the stupidest movie. I mean, I guess there is a line of like inappropriate that I'll turn
Right.
off
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But I will give anything more than the benefit of the doubt. So a fault.
I have trouble with this group of people who, I don't know who it is, but now I guess I do know who it is. Like the people who are going to see the Adam Sandler movies, like
Yeah.
the same movie over and
Right.
over. That's like
It is.
Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore over and over and over again. I was like, who are these people who are going to see these movies? And maybe is it you?
Well, I don't see many in the theater.
Okay. Well,
But
I'm saying, but
sure,
but,
I'll watch it
okay,
on-
You'll
I'll
just
stream
you'll
it.
watch. You will consume these movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Is there like a worst one that you consumed that you like watched?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
yes, I'm sure there is.
Okay.
I don't know what it is offhand.
Okay.
but
All right.
I don't keep like a log.
But
and
you'll
record
just
this.
anything.
anything.
Okay.
anything.
So like when you were a
But-
kid, what are you watching?
So as a kid, I mean, as a younger kid, obviously I liked a lot of cartoons and stuff like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That was my jam.
was so good. Yeah.
And you could collect the action figures
Yeah.
or whatever, not the dolls. The
Right.
action
No,
figures.
dolls
Yeah.
are stupid.
Right.
Action figures
Yeah.
are awesome.
I know
That's
you
right.
were more into G.I. Joe. But that was,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was on, and I watched
Yeah.
it some, but
Yeah.
I wasn't like super into it.
Oh man, I was so
But
into it. Yeah.
On the Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
I only had 3 of the 4 action figures, and so whenever I would play with those, like the 3 would always be in a mission to find the other one, like he was abducted or something like that.
That's creative.
So, yeah,
Why
well, that's
couldn't
something.
you? What was the deal? They
I
wouldn't
just
get
couldn't
you the
find
4th
it.
one.
I couldn't find it.
And
I
the
guess
stores?
I guess I had bad parents. Is that what it is? They wouldn't get me everything I ever
They
asked
wouldn't
for.
get you. In the HEB area, Fort Worth area, you could not find.
There was a shortage of Raphael. That's
There
what it was.
was a
Yeah.
shortage
I guess that's the only answer I can come up
Okay.
with. That's it. So, Yeah, but watched that as cartoons. That was probably my main go-to,
Okay.
favorite cartoon.
Yeah.
Got a little older and watched like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
That was, you learned some serious life lessons from Saved by the Bell, right? No?
I mean, I've never watched Saved by the Bell, but
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I've watched
see how it
literally
is.
every single
Yeah.
stupid Saved by the Bell there ever was. Oh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but the TV was just on all the time.
Oh,
Those
really?
Those
Okay.
were go-to shows, but
Yeah.
I would watch anything, and my parents would watch anything.
Really?
The TV was just on.
It was just on.
all the time.
And the commercials were very loud.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
In my house, so you and I have talked about this before, but I want to initiate to the uninitiated. I want to
Right.
bring everybody in. So in my house, okay, so we're in my family car. I'll tell you this. So we're driving someplace and we're listening to a song, and the electric guitar solo comes on, and that was the time when Mom and Dad would turn it down and go, "Ugh." Like this like what my mom always like what is this like what
Yeah.
who is listening to this, and that's like a lot of people's favorite parts, and
Yeah.
like I can listen to a song from the 80s or 90s and like sing the melody for a song I haven't heard in decades.
Right.
Like I can literally sing the guitar solo. And so same with advertisements. When advertisements are on, they were just mute, boom.
Yeah.
And so I'm just conditioned. I don't
So
really wanna hear it.
you didn't know commercials or like jingles or whatever, right?
I mean, a little bit. They would be on a tiny bit, but
Yeah.
we would just like it was time to turn it down.
Yeah.
So,
So
Yes.
I didn't realize that wasn't a thing. Like
Yeah.
people just left the TV on and it was
y'all-
on full blast or
that
whatever.
was like part of your therapy or premarital counseling or something?
Well, okay, it is now. Yes, yes, it is. But that's because I didn't realize that until I took Carrie home with me when we were dating.
Yeah.
Meet my parents, hang out, whatever.
Yeah.
And she would make comments about like, why is the TV on? Like
It's-
at first to me, just kind of quietly or
Oh,
whatever.
just that it's on?
Yeah, or like, why is it on? Why is it so
Yeah,
loud?
yeah.
And I think at one point she said something like, "Do you guys know how to mute? Like, is that a thing? Do you have a mute button on your remote?"
There's no, it
And I was
doesn't do
like,
that.
I don't even know what that is. Like,
Oh
what does
my-
the word mute mean? Like, it just didn't compute with me. But we said that at one point. I asked my mom, who was in control of the remote at this particular time.
Yes.
And, I said something about, "Hey, can you mute it during the commercials?" And she said some comment like, "Well, Mr. Sensitive Ears, do we need to turn it down for you?"
I
So-
do have sensitive ears. I really do. So yeah,
well,
I think
it
all
happens.
the Baileys have sensitive ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so
I don't know.
Anyway, to this day, Carrie and I will still make that joke, and that
Yeah.
was 20 years ago, 20 plus years.
Okay, so here's something else we need to talk about. So
Give it to me.
Yeah. So me and Carrie grew up in God's country.
Yeah.
In Odessa.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and my sister's husband and my wife grew up in, within like 30 minutes of each other in
Mm-hmm.
Fort Worth area. And y'all had, so we just had cable a little bit, and then we had cable some, but y'all did you have cable?
A little bit. Yeah. So it was probably like late elementary school,
Yeah.
early junior high
Yeah.
for me. We had it, and I don't know why we never had it before.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was like a special or something like that happened, but we had it for a short period of time, and then it went away,
Yeah.
and we didn't have it for a few years,
Yeah.
and then like it came back
Yeah.
later. So I don't
Well,
know.
so Krista, I would say like, well, you didn't have cable, but then I went home with her, and even though not having cable was like 20 channels.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of channels.
I know. So I was like, this is totally cable. Like, this is fine. It's fine to not have cable in DFW because there's all these channels on all the time. So.
Well, there's not always good stuff on them though.
But it didn't matter to you.
Well,
you were
no,
just going to
I
watch
would
whatever.
anything. Yeah,
You're
it
gonna
didn't
watch
matter to me.
anything.
But someone
Okay.
like you, Mr. Sensitive Ears, might want to mute it.
Mr. Sensitive Ears. That's right. Yes, we've just found the name of the podcast of this episode, Mr. Sensitive Ears.
I like that.
Or
It's catchy.
I mean, another rival is Raphaels Shortage.
Uh-huh.
So
There you go.
So either way.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you're watching Ninja Turtles, and you're watching
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. And what else are you watching? Like movies? Are there any movies
Oh, yeah,
that
any
are
movies.
like? What are the movies that like they stand out as like super scary, super interesting, super like it stands out as the one?
Yeah.
Or the
well,
few.
I guess I was always in search for, because I watched so much TV, I was always in search for something that would like surprise me, that I couldn't
Oh.
figure out the ending.
Oh, interesting.
So I've always, for, I don't know, as long as I can remember, have loved like suspense movies.
Oh, interesting.
And that's because if there's a twist in it,
Yeah.
like that I can't figure out,
Yeah.
like that's fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm not
Interesting.
saying that there's a lot of those. There are some good ones,
Yeah.
but I can't remember any when I was a kid.
Yeah, what's
that I
a
couldn't
twist?
figure
What's a
out.
twist movie for you? Like just
Well,
generally.
like, the movie Fear. This is not an endorsement. Do I need to say
yeah,
that?
yeah. No,
but with
yeah.
with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it was just crazy. Like
I don't think I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, I won't give the ending away.
Okay.
I mean,
But there's
if
a
you
twist.
if you haven't seen it by now,
It's
then,
like 30 years old.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Fight Club. I'm sure you've seen Fight
Yeah.
Club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So something
That's a
like
good
that
one, yeah.
where you just can't predict what's going to happen.
Yep.
Like that's great.
Yeah.
I just love it.
I only saw Fight Club, I think, once. But
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, this is not an endorsement. I feel like I should say
Right.
that. But,
right.
you
Not
know.
an endorsement.
Yeah.
Yes. Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh,
No,
it
I
was
see.
so
I had no
great.
idea. I had no idea the
It
first
was
time I
so
watched
great.
it.
Yep. It was really good.
I just thought that's how marriage was. Like you just don't talk to your spouse and you ignore them, and whatever.
And that was right about like when you were going to get married. So you're
A
like, this
little
is
bit
perfect.
before.
Yeah, this is
so
perfect.
it was
It's right there.
Yeah, that was my premarital
That's
counseling
exactly,
right there.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
No, that's not true.
Okay. So as a kid, you're taking in these shows. You're watching movies.
Mhm.
There's movies on TV
Mm-hmm.
that are edited.
Right.
What did you watch any edited movies where you watched a movie and then you watched it as a grown up, not edited? Krista talks about Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah.
Did you watch Can't Buy Me Love?
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
And it
I've
was-
seen it everything, right?
Yeah, and it
I
was
feel like
great. It was great. And then when you see it not edited, you're like, oh wow, this is a
Yeah,
much of a movie.
like The Sandlot or something.
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
It doesn't have as much language.
It seems
until
like it's
you-
for kids, and then
Right.
you're like, oh no. Or even Back to the Future, it's
Yeah.
rated PG, and there's a bunch of scenes, and we're like, wow, this is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and similarly to that, if you watch things now, like
Mhm.
with parent eyes, that
Mhm.
you watched as a child,
Yeah.
and you don't remember some
Yep.
of the language, some of the whatever,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem to stick out
Yeah.
at that point. But now you're like, oh man, wow, I can't believe my parents let me watch this, or how did I not know that this was like E.T. is another one like it.
Yeah.
Didn't it have some language?
I don't remember.
wasn't
I only
E.T.?
saw it like once or twice.
Yeah,
100
there's
years
one
ago.
there's one like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not E.T. I don't remember,
Yeah.
but one of those that's like classic, iconic that
Yeah.
like Sandlot or something else. But
Grease.
no, yeah, my mom loved that, but
So does your wife. Every day in
That's
the
true.
summer, forever.
that's true.
And Grease and Footloose, and
Yeah.
I'll have her on and we'll
I
talk about this.
I can remember my mom watching Grease,
Yeah.
and like we for the longest time only had one TV in our home.
Yeah.
But as I got a little older, we had a second one. It was in my
It was
parents' bedroom.
Controversial.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she would watch that. Like she was like, I want to watch this by myself. Like you can't watch it.
Wow.
So I guess
Wait.
because it was inappropriate. Grease, we're talking about.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but like you and your dad, like nobody.
She would
can
watch it
come
by
in.
herself.
I need to be alone and
Yes.
watch Grease.
Yeah.
Me and John Travolta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ellie
That's kind of weird
Newton-John.
now that we're saying it out loud. I've never really thought about that. She
Ellie
needs to be
Newton-John.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
strange.
Okay. And so, are there like what was scary as a kid? Was there anything that was like this
Like
movie
media-wise?
stood out as the scary?
So I remember Pet Sematary was the first scary movie.
I've
I
never
ever
seen
saw.
it. I never want to see that.
Okay.
Like one of my buddies, one of our friends, he reads almost exclusively
Uh-huh.
Stephen King,
Right.
and I don't want any part of Pet Sematary because
Yeah.
it would freak me out. Yeah.
Well, I don't watch a lot of scary movies now, but
yeah.
again, older brother. So I feel like there were some movies that he was just like, "Oh, you need to watch this."
Yeah.
And, was trying to scare me in some ways.
Yeah.
And I watched Pet Sematary. My parents were out of town. My brother was like watching me. My grandmother was coming over and like staying the nights with us.
Yeah.
But she wasn't there all the time.
Yeah.
And so he turns on this movie and then leaves. And it's just me watching this scary movie
What?
by myself. And I was terrified.
What?
Like we had
Oh my
animals at the
goodness.
time, and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna come
They're
after
gonna
me.
kill you in
Yeah.
your sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
they're gonna turn against me.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Did you ever see that movie where that little guy, like he and this cat like tried to get a baby at night, like they tried to kill a baby? It was really, this is not a good story. Anyway, I'll track it down.
Hey,
but-
tell me that one story.
I
Again
know,
about
that's right.
The little guy and the baby.
And I don't remember. It was like a little elf or something, and I don't remember. I just remember it on TV a lot. So
Yeah.
like that and The Exorcist and no, not Exorcist. Poltergeist
Oh,
was
yeah.
on a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
we watched that movie a lot.
Yeah.
Which is super weird. Anyway, okay. So now, what's your media diet like? Like, what are your shows? Do you all have shows? You have shows, right? What are your
Yeah.
shows?
So we, Carrie and I together.
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
watch a lot of really like docuseries or documentaries, true
Yeah.
crime things.
Yeah.
We love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the best thing that we both like to watch.
Yeah.
So we can watch that together.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's other things like Blacklist or, like.
Y'all watch Blacklist?
Well, I do.
Oh,
I'm,
you do.
I'm
okay.
saying like there's
I
a
was like,
differentiator
wow.
there. Yeah.
Okay,
like
yeah.
Carrie won't watch that.
Right. Yeah.
Or if, something like that, like Law and Order. Like she
Yeah.
won't watch those kind of shows.
Really?
But I like those.
Okay. Yeah.
That's almost true crime, right? It's
Yeah.
crime.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not true. So
What do they call it? Like ripped from the headlines, right? Because
Yeah.
they'll have lots of things that are parallel
Yeah.
cases to the headlines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I make a clear distinction that if Carrie doesn't get like hooked early on in a
Yeah.
show, like I'm gonna just turn it off so I don't get hooked.
Oh,
Because
yeah. That makes
I
sense.
don't have enough time to watch like a whole series or
Yes,
whatever
that's true.
by myself.
I know.
So there's only a select time where I can watch those things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. There are some that we'll watch
Yeah.
separately, but
What's the one you watched? You told me about it, about the referee, the NBA ref.
oh yeah, that was a documentary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We tried.
It was on Netflix. I don't remember what it's called
Yeah.
though.
I think we started that and we kind of like fizzled out.
Yeah.
So, also me in sports, it's kind of
Mhm.
like I love doing sports, but
Yeah.
like watching sports stuff sometimes is
Yeah.
like not as fun. But except for World Cup, I love World Cup.
Yeah, get out of here. You don't even know the rules.
Yes. I know. He doesn't know
Women's
the
World Cup
rules.
it's coming up.
Is
It's-
it?
Yeah. It starts this week.
Wait,
I don't know if I
is
can
there-
say that.
They're different. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whenever this
I
releases. Yeah,
don't know when this is going to
but
come out.
so there's the men's and the women's are not at the same time.
Yeah, they don't play co-ed.
Well, I know that, but when do they come out? Like they're
a
different
year
times.
apart.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
So men's World Cup was last summer.
you've always got to look forward to a World Cup.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Men's is not every year.
No, it's
like
every
the-
4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like the Olympics. It is.
Well,
Wow.
I guess. But
Okay. I don't see. I don't
the
even
Olympics
know.
is
I
not
don't know
every 4
anything.
years, isn't it?
Well, it's every other year because it's
Yeah.
like winter and
Yeah, they have
winter and summer.
both the winter and
So
summer. Yeah.
I know all about sports.
You're
This is-
so into the sports.
This is pretty much a sports podcast. It's
Wow.
really good. Yep.
Go my favorite sports.
Yeah, no, my favorite sports team. Okay, so there's that, and then tell me about like your relationship with your phone. Like how does that go? You're on the social some. So
Yeah.
like which socials are you on? Like how much time or which socials are you on? First
Yeah.
of all?
So yes, some I am. I'm on Facebook because I've been on it for a long time, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm not really active
Yeah.
on it, I guess, but I will get on there to, if you want to find somebody, do I know this person or, I need a picture of them or whatever, that kind of thing.
It's very valuable for that
Yes.
right there.
Yeah.
And you can
It's a
see
research
the social networks, like,
Yeah.
they know this person,
Right.
this person. I would argue that it's better than LinkedIn.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
Yes, for that reason right there.
Yeah.
I haven't clicked a button. I've intentionally not clicked one single button on Facebook in like a decade.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Wow.
like anything. And for some reason, it thinks I live in Utah, and that's fine. I don't understand why.
You've never lived
but-
in Utah.
No, never.
That's really
no.
funny.
I've visited Utah twice.
Okay. Well,
And but
maybe the last time you were there, you had some Facebook activity.
no, it was way before.
Oh,
way
okay.
before I visited Utah.
Okay.
But it's-
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I don't care for Facebook.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I know
am-
everybody's there.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I am on LinkedIn as well, even though you just knocked it. That's
I
fine.
just-
It's more that's more professional
Yeah.
side of things.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get on there. I will consume like some business things
Oh yeah,
that way.
there's like articles and stuff.
Yeah, but that's good to like keep up with people professionally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
like I don't
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I kind of draw a line between professional and friends.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Yeah, and maybe they overlap some, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the distinction between those two platforms.
Yeah,
so
totally. Yeah.
I don't post a lot on there, but
Yeah.
I will like things or
On
wish
LinkedIn?
on LinkedIn.
Okay,
wish
yeah.
somebody a happy work anniversary or
Yeah.
whatever,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
I'm
And then
not-
and then Instagram. You're on Instagram.
Yeah, I am on Instagram. That's my main one. But like with LinkedIn, I mean, it's totally social media, but I'm just like, I've only been on it a couple of times. And so
Yeah.
I guess I need to like look. Do you peek? If you peek, then they're going to send you all the emails. It's just going to be relentless. And
Yeah.
that's not my favorite. So,
That's probably true.
yeah.
I say, going back to Facebook for a second,
Yeah.
I say that I only get onto Facebook to clear off the notifications because
Yeah.
I can't stand
You don't like the little
notification
red
dots
dot, yes.
on things.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody smart is probably going to write into your podcast and be like, well, just turn off your notifications, dummy.
Like,
And I could, but
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. That would require more time on the app.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's true.
figuring that out. I
That's
don't know.
very true.
It's probably not difficult.
So this is how old I am. I remember Facebook when it was only university people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you had to have that
University.
.edu .edu,
address,
email address to log in. And then also I remember you didn't post a status. You posted like, it was like Chad is.
Yeah.
And you would. So if you look at a status from a long time ago, then they look weird.
Yes.
They don't, and then the like
I know exactly
button.
what you mean.
Yeah. There's a ton of research about the like button and how much the like button changed everything.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true because I have Time Hop. I don't know if that's a social media or not.
Yeah.
But that's probably my favorite thing to do
Oh, really?
on my phone. I just love it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Gives you all those memories,
Yeah.
this day, however many years ago. And you saying that reminds me of that because you get some things that are from 15 years ago or whatever.
It doesn't look right.
And it just says, is hungry or it says hungry or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
But that was those days.
Yeah. And then you're on Instagram a lot. I
Yeah.
send you a lot of memes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. You and my father-in-law. I get a lot of inbox things or DMs. I guess they call them DMs, don't they?
Yes. But mine might be better than
Yours are more targeted to the audience. I'll say it that way, as opposed to like rapid fire shotgun approach, that kind of thing. But no, I do get on Instagram. I don't post a ton, but when I do post there, I'll like share it to Facebook sometimes.
Yeah.
So I guess you might see posts on Facebook, but I'll do it that way.
Yeah, that's
just
cool.
because it's kind of different audiences for me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I guess old people versus medium people.
Medium people.
Medium
The
age?
medium, yes.
What do you call that?
And
Middle
then
age.
the college students would be on Facebook because the older people are on it.
Yeah.
Because they knew that unless they were on Facebook, they couldn't interact with their grandparents or whatever. So,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about, do you feel is social media like pulling you in a certain direction? Do you feel that, like that gravitational pull of social media at all?
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay.
I think often about, I'm not sure if this is where you're going or not, but like the algorithms behind these social media sites. Like for instance, if I watch one video, like instructional golf video, then I'm going to get all kinds of stuff in my feed. It's going to start showing up like crazy.
Bro, whatever you do, never click on a cat video. Never. Like you click on one cat video, it is over. And they talk about slippery slope. I used to teach this like slippery slope fallacy, and it is a slippery slope because you click on one golf tutorial and it is over, man, and it is totally over. And one time I clicked on like a fishing thing. I don't know anything about fishing. I don't want to know about fishing.
You're not even
but
fishing.
I know that's right. And they just like gave me all the fishing stuff.
Yeah.
So you're saying this is like external, where you're saying like they're giving it, they're dealing the cards to you.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh yeah. And that's kind of like pushing down your throat a certain thing.
Yeah,
like
totally.
They think you like something in particular.
Yeah.
And they're just going to give you all that content that they can.
Yeah.
And it really creeps me out.
Yeah.
But
and I don't know
it
if
is
you've
what it
had
is.
this experience as well, but like you look at a product on one platform and then it starts to show up. And one time we were at Sam's, and they had like a hot tub there, and we're like, oh, we should get a hot tub. It looks really awesome. And guess what? Starts showing up the next day on Instagram.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, hot tubs. Yeah, they're just
so.
all
I've
over.
had stuff like that where hanging out with friends or whatever, and talking about this kind of weirdness and how much they're always listening, this kind of thing. And so we have done some, I'll call it experiments. I wouldn't say social experiments, but I guess it kind of is.
Yeah.
Where we'll talk about something in particular, like a hot tub in this example.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about it a whole lot and see if our phones are listening.
Yeah.
And then if it shows up in the ads. And sometimes it does. Depends on what the product is.
God,
but
so
it's
weird.
creepy. It's really
It
creepy.
frustrates me when I'm looking at something on Amazon, and then I look at it for a while, and then I buy it, and they're still showing me stuff, and I'm like, bro, I bought this.
Right.
Like,
Close the loop.
clear off the little red notification.
Yeah.
I'm good. I literally bought this.
Exactly.
Okay.
There should be a loop close button, or something.
close.
I've already done that.
Yeah, I've done that. Okay, so like the algorithm is feeding you things, but do you feel how does social media make you feel? What's that like?
Well, I think there is a big comparison thing, and maybe this is where we're trying to go. I have read your book, so
Yes.
that's leading the witness a little bit.
Leading the witness?
I don't know, maybe.
Yes, I object.
Yeah, but no,
Okay.
there is some comparison aspect of it. I try to be real intentional about not being on social media much. And if I'm on, it's going to be to, again, clear those notifications or to post something really quick and then kind of get off. I don't know. If you, it's easy to get sucked into those kind of things.
Totally.
You start watching these cat videos like you love so much, and you're just watching one after another.
I just love those cat videos
So
man.
much.
Yes,
They're listening now too.
that's right. They are.
Yeah.
My phone's right here, and it's totally listening to me.
Yeah,
More
for
cat
sure.
videos.
That's right.
So
But like when I get home from work,
Yeah.
I will leave my phone in the other room.
Okay,
That way
yeah.
I can be disconnected from it.
Okay,
I don't have
yeah.
the, the pull toward,
Yeah.
well, checking those notifications or, checking in with work or whatever.
Yeah.
Any of those
Do
kind of
you
things.
ever delete Instagram, or you just leave it on there forever?
No, I don't think I've ever deleted an app
Okay,
like that.
okay.
I don't know. Maybe I just have more self-control, or I don't know.
You're a better person than me.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
I was actually leading
Yes,
you as the
you were-
witness to get to that point.
Get,
So
get,
thank
get
you
me there. Yes.
for public acknowledgement.
Most days I delete it.
Do
Like
you?
I delete. I delete it at like right before, at night. Like I'll check it for a couple of hours or whatever, an hour, and then just like I'm done. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And then, delete it and then
Wow.
re-download it the next day. And so sometimes, one of the Bailey family rituals that we do is me and Gracie, and then me and the three boys, we will like gather around and watch my saved videos. So I would save videos for them just because I love people falling down.
Yeah.
I just love people falling down so much, and cat videos.
Yeah.
But just people falling down and like things that are unexpected, or a lot of times what we'll do is we'll like start a video and I'll pause it and I'll be like, okay, what's going to happen? Well, you have to guess what's going to happen. Like what mishap is going to happen.
That sounds like
here.
America's Funniest Videos.
Yeah,
Remember that? Where
but-
they would pause it and people from the audience had to like guess.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that.
You're the next generation of that.
I don't know. AFE is kind of like, it's
Oh,
kind of hit and miss.
Sorry
Yeah,
to
No,
bring
it's-
that up.
no, it's
Sensitive topic.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'll
we'll
say-
do that, but all that say that. So Gracie will ask me, my 10-year-old will ask me like, "Hey, let's do save videos," and I'll say like,
Yeah.
"Instagram's not on my phone right now," so because I
Can't do it.
literally just
Yeah,
delete
can't
it. I mean, it's just I can, but I want to keep a little barrier.
Yeah.
Between.
Well,
me and
that sounds like your sister. You have this in common.
She deletes it too?
My lovely bride. She actually doesn't keep like Instagram app on her phone. She'll go through her Safari browser because
Really?
it's more of it's a process to get on. You
it's
got to get
like
logged on.
like a barrier.
It's a whole thing. So
Yeah.
it mentally like slows her down enough
Yeah.
to make sure that you want to do that and go through that. So it's kind of a check for her. I won't give that away. I'm sure she's a special guest.
She
coming
is.
up
I
on the
know.
podcast,
She's a special guest, if she will. And then
much more interesting
also,
than I am.
no. This is great. And also, I do that with Facebook. I never log. I don't have the app ever. Never
Yeah.
ever. And so,
Really?
yeah, I look at it on
Okay.
the computer. Yeah.
I guess you don't get notifications that way.
No,
they don't pop up on your
never,
phone,
ever.
right?
No, and it's just like it's on the browser, and then there's a little red dot over there.
Yeah.
Click on that, and we take
There
care
it
of
is. You just
Yeah,
solved
definitely.
all of my problems right
That's
there.
right. I know. Just never have it on your phone. That's exactly right. So, I've also considered. Maybe I shouldn't say this in front of a phone, but I've also considered like to your point about the algorithm tracking you down,
Right.
dealing you cards. On Amazon, they sell like a little like a soft lead bag,
Mhm.
so you can put your phone into that and zip it up.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
that's kind of like next level
I like it.
crazy. I think I don't know.
I like it. I want to carry it around, and it's not
seems-
going to hear anything.
It seems kind of
It's gonna-
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
You're okay with that label?
I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Good for you.
That's fine. Okay, and so let's talk about. So, do you feel like does it get you to comparison? Are you comparing to are you seeing people online and you're like, man, I wish that I could do that, or like this guy, like I oversee 200 million, but man, I wish this guy oversees like 250 million
Sure.
or whatever, like work stuff, or is Warren Buffett like driving you crazy? I don't know what does that look like for you professionally,
Yeah.
or interpersonally, or spiritually, or like what does that look like? Does it drive you to comparison at all? Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say probably not. Not that I'm just some better person or whatever, but I think I just consciously slow down enough to say this is people's highlight reel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's
and
good. Yeah.
to just say, I don't know. That's not the complete picture.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sure, there is aspects of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say that there's not.
Yeah.
But that's not like a huge struggle for me. Again, I also don't do a lot of. Do you call it surfing? I guess surfing on social media. Like, I don't spend a lot of time there just scrolling through posts to where that is a.
Yeah. I call it doom scrolling.
There you go.
Even if I'm just scrolling, Krista's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doom scrolling."
Oh,
so it's
nice.
just like, yeah, definitely. And so something, I'll be sitting beside her or whatever, and her feed's like all like happy, and some of my stuff's like bad and frustrating or whatever, and it's crazy that you're making, you're creating your reality on social media.
That's true.
And and so sometimes mine's kind of kind of bad.
Yeah.
I need to like unfollow some things.
Did you ever see that documentary on social media and how like the algorithms work?
Yeah.
And
Totally.
That was so creepy.
Yeah,
I made my boys watch it. This was several years ago, but I made them watch it just so their eyes were open to this is what's going on. This is how they're feeding you things and what's at work behind the scenes.
We watched it as a family. Yep.
Yeah.
It was really powerful.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
So I watched it twice. Once, Carrie and I watched it, and then I made the kids watch it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But it was so spot on. So that kind of stuff really creeps me out, thinking about the algorithm and pushing you information.
Absolutely.
Dealing you. I like how you said that. Dealing you a certain deck. Yeah.
It is. I used to do this. I may talk about this in another podcast, but I used to do this card trick with my students where so you pull out, and I don't even know the name of the card trick, but have you ever seen me do this? You pull out 21 cards.
I don't know. Give me a little bit more.
You pull out, it's like the only card trick I know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say no then.
Okay. So you pull out 21 cards and the, I don't know what you call the person, the target or whatever can literally pull out like anyone. And I would do this for my classes, and I gave my lectures so much that I never got nervous. I was just not nervous, except for when I did this card trick. I was like, man, because every now and then it wouldn't work.
Oh,
because
no.
it's like a mathematical formula. So you do these. So you got 21 cards, and they can choose anyone.
Yeah.
Like literally, they can shuffle it up, do whatever they want. And so they pick a card, they show it to the class. Like I literally don't know what it is. And then it's in these 3 piles. And as you go, like they tell you which pile it's in.
Yeah.
And then you
pick them up in a certain order?
Yeah, in a certain order.
I think I have seen this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's from you or not. But.
Yeah. And then after that, like after you do this 2 or 3 times, like because I know what position it lands in the pile, I know which card it is because they're all face up. And then I put them in a pile, and then I put them in like 4 card piles. So it looks just totally random. And then I make them choose. I'm like, okay, choose one. And then I know I have to get to a certain pile, right? So if there's like 10 piles out there and they choose the one that I don't want, like I just take that one away.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm always going to take the other one away. I'm always going to leave that one, that one pile right there.
The false choice.
Right. Yeah. The false choice. That's right. And so I get to that one pile of 4, and then I spread them out, and I'm like, okay, choose 2. And then I take away the wrong 2. And then I'm like, choose 1, and then I pull that one, and it's still face down. And then I look at them, and I'm like, is it the 4 of diamonds?
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh my gosh, how'd you do this?
That's incredible.
Incredible. Yeah, but that's how I feel social. And I would do that lecture when we talked about social media because this reflection is really great. And so I would do that when we talk about social media because that's what social media is doing.
Yeah.
You feel like you're choosing, but you're really not choosing. You know, they're leading you down a really certain path or a really specific path. And even, I don't know if you've noticed on Facebook and Instagram, you can no longer see your feed chronologically. You can't see it.
They took the option away.
They took you literally can't see it. There's no possible way. And so I teach in the PhD program in grad school. And some of my students will say, like, I want to study, Twitter. I want to study fake news. I want to study whatever. I want to study the comments of, like what people are commenting.
Right.
I'm like, first of all, how do you know who's commenting? And then how do you know that you're seeing, like you personally, you don't know if you're seeing all of the comments.
Right.
Like you literally,
that's true.
you have no, and you will never know.
Yeah.
You can't know. You can't.
And to know if they're, created by an actual person or a bot.
Yes, absolutely. That's another deal. So it's really hard to study. It's really hard to know what's going on with all of that stuff. Yeah. That's exactly right. Okay, so you're doing great with social media.
Wow.
You're doing
thank you.
so good.
A+.
Check plus.
Are we
That's
gonna
right.
get graded? I'd love a grade.
Yes, I'll give you a grade in Excel. Like I'll do a little spreadsheet, like a little rubric or whatever. Yeah.
Now you're mocking me.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about thankfulness. Like, would you consider yourself a thankful person? Like just baseline thankful?
Probably not really. I would say I try to be, or I'm trying to be more thankful, just aware and, verbally thankful.
Yeah.
But no, that's not a default for me. Like, I mean, I kind of put that on the same line with like empathetic or even sympathetic. Like that I just don't default to those kind of things.
Yeah.
Not that thankfulness is the same, but I don't
sense.
default to those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to work at those kind of things.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's a conscious choice.
I definitely do too.
Yeah.
Krista's like so thankful for everything. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, but look at this, and look at the flowers.
She's
look
better
at the
than us.
sun. Yeah,
If
that's
we were
right.
grading, she would get a
I
better
know,
grade.
I know.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah. But
So-
I mean, like we're called to be thankful in all
yeah,
things.
totally,
right?
absolutely.
So
that's
I try to do
absolutely
better,
right.
but
yeah,
it's hard.
yeah. So do you like how do you get there? What do you do to? Do you have any practices or what?
Yeah, well, so I've always been more of like an achiever or like a task driven over people driven, but I've tried to be intentional over the last several years of like slowing down and being kind of plugged into the now instead of thinking about what's next or what's next on my to-do list or what's next, what's the next meeting or what's coming up later this week. Be plugged into and consciously aware of like, okay, right now I'm recording a podcast with you. This is great. We're having a lot of fun. I'm not thinking about, man, I'm really hungry. I'm going to eat after this or whatever. Slowing down has been a big thing. We moved into the country a couple of years ago. And so that has been helpful because I'll get up and watch the sunrise almost every day.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And so just have some quiet time before anybody else is awake.
Yeah.
So I'm in the Word, I'm in prayer.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just having quiet time, watching the sunrise and watching some nature. Mostly just my dogs barking, but
just going nuts out there.
That's right. Yeah.
And you're about to get bees. Are you going to get bees?
Maybe,
really?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't feel equipped enough. But yes, that's on the horizon.
Okay.
I'm researching initial stages.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Well, I don't know enough to talk about it yet. I feel very overwhelmed, actually, to be honest, if I'm going to be transparent in this.
We stayed at a hotel last year
That had bees?
and on the roof they had bees.
Get out.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
so like it was so they had the fitness center or whatever, and just outside of that there were all these boxes and it's like all these bees.
Weird. This was on the top of the hotel, you said? Was there like a garden or something up there? Or
No, it was roof. No, roof. So there was like a little, like where they put the air conditioners. So this was not the top floor at all.
Okay.
It was maybe like the fourth
Interesting.
floor or something. And there was like a little, like the flat roof, like the gravel roof, the asphalt roof, and then, or whatever it's called. And then there's like air conditioner units and then there's boxes and it's like bees and it's labeled bees. I'm not just making this up. Like it literally said bees and like you could see the bees flying all. Yeah, it was really.
Maybe they were playing a prank on you. I feel like, again, we're getting way over my pay grade here and my research capabilities thus far.
Yeah.
But don't they have to pollinate and things like that? So they should need something that's not asphalt around them or gravel.
I mean, I guess they go to the city and they find
That's just
places
a long ways away, right? Don't you want it to be convenient for them to?
I don't know. Are there enough
come to
things
the
in the
hive?
city to pollinate? I don't know. I think this was in Charlotte last year.
Okay.
We're in Charlotte. I don't know. Anyway, so you're in the country. You're trying to be present. One of my favorite books. It's called Deep Survival. Deep Survival: Who Lives, Who Dies, and Why.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really intense.
Sounds intense.
And, and this guy talks about one of the mantras of people who survive. Where they say, "Be here now." So it's just like
be
totally
present.
here. Yeah, be totally present. We were at, what year was this? It's 4 years ago. Gracie, my youngest daughter, was 6, and we were at Disney.
Okay.
And we were 4 days at Disney. We're day 1 at Disney.
Mm-hmm. So magical.
We're at Disney, and she's talking about day 2 and 3 at Disney, and I'm like,
be here.
but we're at Disney. Can you just please be at Disney?
Enjoy this.
Enjoy this.
Yeah.
There's that thing, the Epcot or whatever thing there is. Just like enjoy this. Be here now. So
it's so
that's really
easy.
good.
It's so easy to get caught up in what's next and looking forward. And it could be positive. You're looking forward to the next thing, but then you're not enjoying the current thing.
Yep.
Right.
Totally.
So.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm fascinated by social media because it is pulling us into we're dividing us into 2 different places, at least 2 different places, right? And so we're really not here, right? We're 2 different places, and so you and I go to church at a place, and there is a sheriff's deputy, and I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, I don't know why we have them. But they're there every time, and I'm not knocking anybody in particular, but just some law enforcement. I've got some buddies who are in law enforcement, and I think like they're on their phone. Yeah. And I think tactically, like this is a really bad decision. Yes. Like somebody could do something horrible, and they would just be like,
they could miss it.
I know.
They're in that split second.
They're trying to clear off their notifications on Facebook.
Oh, gosh.
And they're just, something terrible could happen. Anyway, okay, so you're talking about being present, being here.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
No, as far as, thankfulness and that, no, that, I think that sums it up.
Okay.
I don't know. Just trying to be aware
Okay.
of thankfulness and,
Okay. Cool.
going above. And, like, I think some of it is thinking, like, when responding to other people,
Yeah.
thinking about, like, man, how meaningful would it be if I got a text or a call of, I don't, let's be honest, I don't do calls, but if I got a text of, like, hey, you're doing really great at this, or, if my boss were to compliment me or something like that. So, thinking about that and trying to be empathetic in some ways.
Yeah, totally.
And thinking, man, Joseph would really love a text after this to say, hey, great job on the podcast. You're doing good work. Like, don't come down,
So this has happened 2 or 3 different times, and I've had a friend and we're like, we see each other often and we'll text a lot.
Yeah.
And then the first time he called me, I was like, what's wrong?
Yes.
Right. Like what's wrong? And so then I answered the phone and then nothing was wrong. And he's like, we call each other now. So it's like
we're now calling.
I know
friends.
we stepped over some threshold, and it was like, it was scary.
That's a big step.
I know it's a big step.
I feel like you have to have a DTR there of
it feels
really talking
like
about it.
Pretty permanent. It's very true.
I do have some friends that they won't respond to text. So,
really? Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to talk to them, or if you expect a response, or them to actually see it, I don't know if they're seeing it if they're not responding.
Yeah, that's true.
So you may have to call them.
Yeah.
Or else you just don't get in touch, I guess.
It's just gone.
It's
gone. Into the abyss. Yeah. Never delivered or anything.
We'll just never be friends. That's probably a defining characteristic of my friends. Like, will you text me back?
Yep. Huh. Okay. So, and then the last thing I want to talk about is what's better than ever. So we've talked for 51 minutes and I haven't asked you what's better than ever. This whole podcast is called Better Than Ever. So what's better than ever to you?
What's better than ever?
Yeah, to you.
Well, I think just access to things. I kind of suspected you would ask that question because it is the title of the podcast.
Yes.
I would sum it up with the one word of access. So it's access to data, access to content, resources. Like it's never been more readily available at any other point in history.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that's good. I mean, it can be used for bad. Yeah. For sure. But it's really a good thing. Yeah. Like we have the ability to learn something new or research whatever we want. I mean, the sky's the limit, right? I mean, we can even utilize artificial intelligence to help us create content or research things or whatever. We don't have to go down that rabbit hole if you don't want. But
you should ask ChatGPT if you should have bees or not.
Yes, I should.
Should I have bees? Right. I live on the side of a mountain. Should I have bees? And it's just like, boom, yes, you should. Here's why.
Here's why. And here's how to do it.
Here's how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that in the university system, and we may have talked about this before in real life, but what they've talked about is that, so if you imagine 30 to 50 years ago, like the professor knew the special knowledge. You know, they knew the answers nobody else knows. Well, now that's not the case. Right. And so the professor is just the curator of knowledge. And so to your point about accessibility, like it's just, it's like a specialty being a curator, you know, where they're just like, there's 1,000 things back there and they bring the best 5 things. Yeah. So,
I mean, I guess it has the potential to be biased then if you're
totally
people to present it.
Yeah, totally.
So I mean that's a flaw.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but we're talking about better than ever. So let's stay focused on the positive.
That's right. The positive.
But I mean that access to information and content, I mean it helps us be more efficient in a lot of ways. Yeah. And I love efficiency.
Me too. Yeah.
That's huge for me.
Totally.
So being more efficient is great. Yeah. And it helps me get more done. Yeah. It helps me get through my to-do list so that I have time for family or whatever else. And I can get more done and be more efficient and feel better about myself. That's right. Get my identity and self-worth from there.
That's right. Even better.
Even better. Yeah.
When you first started your job, compare and contrast, like, how many screens do you have right now?
2.
Just 2?
Just
I thought
2.
you had like a whole bank of screens or something.
Downgraded, yes.
What did you have?
At one point I had 5 screens plus a TV. I guess that makes 6 screens.
You were like the Matrix, man.
Yeah,
it was so
like
cool.
That. Yeah. You have entered the Matrix.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're down to 2.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I really don't have a need for that many anymore.
12-step program to reduce your screen intake.
That's right.
Okay.
But it is a lot. But I
Yeah.
mean, some of those you're just watching, numbers tick by or whatever
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
There's certain monitors or dashboards
Yeah,
that you're
makes sense.
watching. And, you're active on just a few or
Yeah.
2 or 3 screens.
And what about, so how has it changed since you first started this job?
As far as not my screen quantity. You're
Well,
talking
no,
about, but-
not just that, but like your knowledge, your speed, or like accessibility, or
Sure.
whatever else.
Well, I think the more you practice something, the more you do something, the more time you spend doing it,
Yeah.
you get more proficient.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's
Yeah.
the goal anyway.
Yeah.
But it comes easier to you.
Yeah.
So you may not necessarily be more efficient, but you're more proficient at it.
Yeah.
So I would say that's been a big thing. And I love efficiency. So
Yeah.
getting better at things and getting more proficient doing them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's changed a lot for sure.
Okay. But was the data was there like in 04? The data was pretty much the same or no?
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, but there's more availability to access that data
Okay.
and like even to the common person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much you want to get into this, but the whole GameStop debacle
Oh,
several years ago,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
like somebody on Reddit
Yeah.
was, and actually I think it was an investment professional. So this, it's pretty bad, but
Sketchy, man.
This
Yes.
person was like, convincing just everyday people,
Yeah.
non-professionals
Yeah.
to have certain investment activity.
Okay.
And so they bought this stock
Yeah.
and, drove the price way up.
Everybody went, right?
So yeah, that's good that everybody has access to the market,
Yeah.
and that it can be efficient in that
Yeah.
way. That's we're not going to talk about like the efficient market hypothesis or anything, but we could maybe another podcast. I'll have you on my
Okay.
podcast.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
talk
All
about
right.
that.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so it's good to have that access
Yeah.
to the everyday person. That's
Okay.
something that's changed from
Yeah.
dozens of years ago or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Just more and more people have access. There are more people
Yeah.
that are investing, things like that.
Yeah.
But it can also be harmful because like this person was, leading people to a certain activity, and a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or even like Bitcoin. We don't have to talk too much about cryptocurrency
Yeah.
either. But we're going off down a ledge. I feel like it's not a good ledge.
It's a bad ledge.
Like there's a whole thing it's called rug pull for cryptocurrencies, where
interesting.
people will go out and like basically they have a hype man that
Yeah.
hypes up a
Oh,
cryptocurrency,
yeah.
and there's well over 1,000 cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
So they hype up the next big one, they get people to invest in it, and then they pull the rug out from under them and make all kinds of money.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
I mean, they're manipulating the markets,
Yeah.
and that's bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but that's a deregulated market. That's a
Right.
that's a
That's
whole different
whole
deal.
other deal.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense. So but for the most part, accessibility
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah. Just
Okay,
access
cool.
to
Yeah,
that,
access
to that
to-
data. Yeah.
Yeah. So much good stuff. Tomorrow or the next day, I'm changing brake pads on a Ford Escape,
Nice.
and I don't have to wonder.
Yeah.
I don't have to wonder how to do it.
You don't
Like,
have to
I just
figure
look
it
on
out.
YouTube.
Right.
I don't have to figure it out. I just like it's going to be really simple.
Yeah,
I think
like-
I think it's going to be
Well,
simple.
we'll see. We'll talk in a few days.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, but like, let's say 20, 30 years ago,
Yeah.
you would have had to go and maybe 40 years ago, I don't
Yeah.
know, you'd have had to go and buy a book that tells you how to
Yeah,
do it
sure.
on that specific
Yeah.
car model or whatever, right?
No.
But now, just a quick Google, give it a quick Google and you get the answer.
Those books are okay, but a video's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
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 I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap it up. Let's do some. You don't read a ton of fiction, right? You don't really
No,
read fiction.
not really.
What's a book people should read? What do you think?
Well, Like a King, I've
Yeah,
heard
of course.
is really
Yes,
fantastic.
fantastic,
So, can I say
yes.
that? Is that
Of course,
allowed?
yes,
Yeah. I didn't
yes.
really get the author's permission to say that.
I don't know that I should have people on my podcast to promote my own.
Oh yeah,
my
you're
own
right.
thing.
Your own content.
Yes.
We can edit this out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
All right.
So ask the question again. We'll start like it never happened.
No,
Right?
it's okay. Just go for it. Yeah.
So I read last year 6 Types of Working Genius.
Yes.
by
Yeah.
Patrick
You and I
Lencioni.
have talked about that. Yeah. Yes.
And fantastic.
Yes.
That's an incredible book. So
Yes.
I think everybody should read that. It's not only applicable for
Yeah.
business and figuring
I
out
love it so much. Yeah.
how you work, but yeah, just in your regular everyday life as well.
Yeah. We don't have to go too far down this road, but something he talked about in that is that if you're functioning outside of one of your geniuses, because he says that there's 6 geniuses and you normally have 2.
Right.
And he says if you're functioning outside of it, you will feel lazy
Yeah. That's
because
crazy.
you just can't like get it together And so that's been revolutionary for me because I'm like, I literally felt so lazy. And I'm like, I'm not lazy.
Right.
But I'm like so good at these two
Yeah.
that these other ones are like, I'm terrible.
Well, and that's
at
when
it.
you get energized and you
Yeah,
are feeling
totally.
fulfilled,
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then there's core competencies,
Right.
which are things that you can do.
You can do.
But
yeah.
if you do for a long time, then
Yeah,
it's really
just
draining.
kinda
Yeah,
drags you
it's a
down.
draining on you.
Yeah, yeah. I had to, at my old job, I had to reconcile the credit card once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the worst thing ever. It was just like
You could do it, but you didn't like doing
I
it.
didn't
Yeah.
not like to.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. It was not my favorite.
Well,
at all,
if
so.
you used Excel, I'm sure we could have made it better for you.
Yes,
But
I
you know,
know
it's
I
okay.
could have.
It's okay.
Could have.
It takes all types out there.
You could have written me a formula. It would have been awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Another book. Can I talk? Can I
Yeah,
say
sure.
two?
Go for it.
I would say one that has changed and has shaped my prayer life in a big way.
Yeah.
Is The Power of a Praying Husband
Yeah.
and Parent as well.
Oh, cool.
By Stormy O'Martin. Oh, there's a little shout out.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know, unsolicited.
Stormy O'Martin. Okay.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
old book.
Okay, yeah.
It's old series, but she has these different books for different. So there's
Wow.
a husband, there's
Yeah.
a wife, and it basically like the husband one, for instance,
Yeah.
is it
Did you read
teaches-
the husband one for yourself?
No, okay. Wait a minute. It's The Power of a Praying Husband, and I'm the husband.
You're the husband. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'm reading this, but it's how to pray for my wife.
You didn't tell your family like, hey, here's how to pray for me.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No,
You
I got
went
them all
around
books
and
of
yelled
like,
it.
how
Yeah.
to pray for your father.
That's
and
awesome.
How to
Yeah.
pray. Yeah.
That's really cool.
but it's because obviously we as males are different than females, so we are.
I
Yes. The
feel
look on your
way
face is
different.
incredible
Yes,
right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're different, and we don't always know how or what to pray exactly. So this not only gives you some context, but then actually gives you a prayer that you can pray.
That's cool. Yeah.
So we've been doing these in our family, and Carrie does the Power of a Praying Wife,
Yeah.
which is praying for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gave her that as a gift.
Yes.
Pray for me in this.
Yes.
I mean, we've been doing those for probably 15 years.
Oh, that's cool.
And we just like now we've read the book.
Yeah.
So we just go to the prayers. So
Very
like
cool.
every day I'll read a specific prayer and pray
really
a specific
cool.
prayer. And it's awesome because
Yeah.
it helps me kind of tune in and engage into what she might be going through and kind of, again, some of that empathy, putting myself in
cool.
her shoes to know she might be thinking about this or going through this, and helps me pray for that as well.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I'll check it out. What's your favorite candy?
Ooh, candy. I like any candy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll eat anything, but I don't know. You probably don't count cookies as candy, but
I don't
like
know.
cookies, brown. I don't know. I just come up with
Let's
questions.
go.
Yeah,
let's
whatever
go.
you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Anything chocolate is my favorite.
Okay. What about chocolate and mint together? How does that?
Delicious.
Really?
Yeah. Like an Andes mint or something? Like
I like those
fantastic.
okay, but like mint chocolate chip ice cream?
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
I'm out.
I'll eat it.
I mean, I would eat it, but it's not my favorite.
That's used to be my youngest son's favorite.
Yeah.
And like, I like it and I'll eat anything, kind of like I'll watch anything,
Yeah,
any
yeah.
movie or whatever.
Yes.
But no one else in my family liked it. And so
Yeah.
he was the only one. And every time we would get ice cream,
Yeah.
which I don't know, was probably too frequent, but he's like, can we get mint
Too
chocolate
much.
chip? And,
Yeah.
and so no one would do it ever. So every now and then we had to kind of indulge him and you know, let that happen. But
That's awesome.
yeah, but you're not a fan, huh?
I mean, I'll eat. I like almost anything sweet.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
me too.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a sweet tooth
love
for sure.
sweets, totally.
I would go for sweets over a meal if I had to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I
those
do
people. Why not do both?
Why not do
those
both?
people who are like, well, Carrie doesn't like sweets. Right?
No,
she
yeah,
really
does.
doesn't.
Well,
like sweets.
she'll eat them, but
Yeah.
no, she really doesn't. She would
I
choose
love
salty
sweets
over
so
sweet
much.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I love sweets so much. And also the people who are like, well, I like that, but it's too sweet. I'm like, I don't have that. I literally don't.
I've
have
never
that.
tasted anything that's too sweet.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
now,
don't have that.
I might pass out from too much sweet at some point, but I'll
Yes.
never admit it.
Yes. All right. Well, look at us. 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Wow.
Bam.
Is this the longest conversation we've ever had?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
We hunt a little bit. We
Oh,
we go
look out.
talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So, all right. Well, thanks for coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me by.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
You're on your second podcast today.
Wow.
It's amazing.
So fancy.
He's got to go because he's got to go to number 3 in a
yeah,
second. So,
yeah. I've got several lined up this week.
All right. Thanks for coming by.
All right.
If you liked ideas like these, check out my book, Like a King, Compare Yourself into Happiness, where I compare our lives to the kings of the past, wherever books are sold. Just kidding. It's only on Amazon.